Hi everyone! In this video I will tell you about my story with androgenetic alopecia. But first of all, I'm sorry if I make some mistakes, and for my accent, maybe you heard it, but I'm French, so it's not very easy for me to speak in English because it's not my mother language, so please be kind with me. So to begin, it's the beginning of my life. When I was a child and a teenager, I had a lot of hair. I know it may be hard to believe me, but I have so much hair that it was even difficult for me to put them all in a hair elastic. I remember also that when I was maybe 14, the hairdressers were always like telling me that I had so beautiful hair, and I was like, yeah, and so what? It was normal for me to have so much hair. But at the age of 20, I started losing my hair. I didn't notice it right away, but my mom, not my mère, my mère is in French. My mom noticed it and advised me to go to see a doctor. So, because I am a good girl, even if I did not notice anything, I went to see a dermatologist, and he looked at my scalp and he said, oh, there is hair loss everywhere. And I was like, okay. And he prescribed me blood analysis and iron and vitamins supplementations. He also asked me if someone in my family was losing their hair, and I told him that my father lost all of his hair at the age of 20. Actually, he still has a bit of hair here, and he put some hair like this to make believe people that he has hair, but no one's believed this. So it's a bit ridiculous. But when he asked me that question, and with my answer, I realized that maybe this hair loss problem will be more important than what I previously thought. 3 months later, after vitamins and iron supplementations, my alopecia was still here, so he prescribed me minoxidil, so I understood at this moment that I had androgenetic alopecia, because during this period of 3 months I googled a lot, woman, hair loss, alopecia, androgenetic alopecia, telogene effluvium, and I could guess that with minoxidil prescription there was no doubt anymore that I had this problem. And I have to tell that it was very hard for me at the age of 20 years old, even if I did not notice my alopecia at this moment, because it was not very visible, to understand that I will surely and gradually lose a lot of my hair, and to wonder every day how I will become in the next years. It was very difficult, because you know that you will maybe lose a lot of your seduction power, your femininity, your beauty, and it was hard to accept. I started the minoxidil treatment. I put this treatment twice a day on my scalp for almost 5 years. I did not see any good result, except that I had a lot of weird hair here on my temples and also on my feet, which was not exactly the results that I expected. But on my head, on my scalp, maybe there was some hair that was here because of the minoxidil, but I will never know. It was not a result that was impressive. I never knew if it would be worse without or with. I didn't see any result that was very sure for me. The other real problem of this treatment for me is that it constantly reminded me my alopecia every day, every morning, every evening. Even if my alopecia was not that visible at the age of 25, putting this weird lotion that is a bit oily on my scalp every day was making me very anxious of my alopecia and very aware of my alopecia. I think if I did not do this treatment, maybe I would feel better, because my alopecia was not that visible at this moment. So over the years, I started to completely focus on my alopecia. All my perception of myself was around my alopecia. I was literally obsessed with this. I could not see myself in the mirror without noticing my scalp, or see myself on a photo without thinking that the photo was bad because of my scalp that I could see on the photo. It was very, very hard to handle in my head. I remember, for instance, that one day I was in a store. I was searching for some clothes, and I saw a mirror maybe 3 feet away, 3 meters away, far away. And I just saw my scalp in that mirror. It was very confusing because each time I was seeing myself in a mirror, I could only see my scalp. I was not a person, I was a scalp. When I decided to try to have a baby with my husband, I decided to stop minoxidil because I could not handle this treatment anymore. I didn't like to put this on my scalp every day, so I decided to stop everything. And after the birth of my daughter, maybe 1 year later, my alopecia was becoming very visible. It was worse. So it has become a real complex because, as usual, I could not see myself in the photo without seeing my scalp. But even the photos with my daughter that was 1 year old, 1 year, I was like, oh, this photo is bad because of me, because of my scalp. Like, my little girl is so cute and I can only see my scalp on this photo. I was really unhappy because of that. It has become a real complex over the years. And one day when I was at work, one of my colleagues, one of my beautiful young girl with a lot of hair colleague, started my scalp while I was talking, and I could see in her eyes that she was wondering, like, oh, what is the problem of this girl? She has no hair on her scalp here. What is the problem? I could see this on her eyes. So at this moment, so it was a huge humiliation for me, first of all. And at this moment, I realized that it was a problem for me, but it was the first time that I could understand that it was visible also for other people, because my mom was always telling me, oh, it's in your head, it's not that much, you still have a lot of hair. Actually, I don't have a lot of hair, I have a lot of alopecia everywhere, but I thought that maybe she was right, and maybe I was overdoing thing about this. I was exaggerating, I was maybe making a big problem of something small. But when I noticed that some of my colleagues could see my alopecia and wondering in herself what was my problem, I realized that it was a moment for me to find a real solution. And my solution was hair topper. So hair topper is this kind of thing. At the age of 30, I decided to start to wear alternative hair to feel beautiful again. This solution literally changed my life and my perception of myself. I can show you first my alopecia and the kind of result you can have with this. It's very impressive. So this is my beautiful hair. So maybe you cannot see, but trust me, my alopecia is very, very impressive. I am 35 years old now, and my alopecia is worse and worse every year. I had 3 kids, so it didn't help, obviously. The worst part is maybe here, but I have also here. Trust me, I have everywhere problems with my scalp. So I will show you the kind of result you can have with this kind of thing. So it's a silk top topper, so it's the best scalp imitation you can have on the market. So you just have to open the clips and put this on your head. It's maybe 2 minutes to put it. Like, you can make this like this, and you can see that I will not be the same person anymore. I will be more beautiful, more confident, more everything, just more me. Like, look. It's very natural, it's very beautiful, and I really like the result. And so I started to wear this kind of thing. So this topper is not cut. There is no hairdresser that cut it, so you can even have better result with a topper that had a little hairdresser cut. It was really not easy in France at the age of 30 to go to a wig store to buy a hair topper. I thought that I was the only young woman to have to make this kind of thing. No one was talking about that on social network in France. It was very taboo. So I decided to share my experience through alternative hair on YouTube. I was the first French girl, French 30 years old girl, to talk about that on social network. And I had a lot of people commenting, subscribing, and I realized at that moment that I was really not alone. I really wanted to help women to discover this solution, because I felt so alone and so desperate for several years, thinking that nothing exists to solve my problem, that when I discovered this, I thought that I could not keep this to myself like a secret, and I need to share this with other women in the same situation. 2 years later, I launched my own brand of topper and wigs, comme un diadème. It means like a tiara, like you know, like the princess that has a tiara. Because for me, a hair topper is like a tiara. When you put a tiara, you feel yourself again, but your better self. You feel like you are the same person, but with more self-esteem, with more confidence, with more charisma, and maybe with more beauty. It's not only physical, but it's also in your mind, like a girl that become a princess and that is the same, but has more, something more. So this is why my brand is named Comme un diadème in French. Since 2 years, Comme un diadème allowed a lot of French girls to have their first hair toppers, even other European girls, actually, Belgium girl, Switzerland girl, and other European or even US girls to have their first topper, and I'm very, very proud of this. If you are also interested by this kind of solution, don't hesitate to DM me. Trust me, I can write English very well, much more than what I talk. It will be better and you will understand everything. And if you want to see my website, you can go directly to the website here. I will put it in description if you are interested to see these beautiful Brazilian hair topper that are very natural and beautiful and soft and beautiful. As I told you before, it's my first English video, so thank you for listening to me until now. Thank you for your patience. And if you want to see more content about hair toppers, tutorials, how to make a ponytail with hair topper, how to choose your cap size with hair toppers, how to use hair fiber powder for your alopecia, and etc. Don't hesitate to subscribe, and see you soon in my next video.